And you're welcome back. We're still on the middlemen, and my jurors are still here with me. My case: demon crazy or democracy? Democracy doesn't seem to be working for Nigeria. With 200 to 250 million people, majority of them living in abject poverty, the deciding factors for who we elect or select are not aligning. While educated people think policies and capacity to lead with compassion, justice, equity, and competence, the poor just want someone to give them food immediately. And we can't blame them. Survival is a basic human instinct. Yes, we need educated leaders so they can hold intelligent conversations in the Committee of States. But look at the northern governors in Nigeria, quite a few of them with doctorate degrees. It will astound you when they empower their people with food, wheelbarrows, shoe shining kits, and things that don't really empower for long. How can very educated leaders do this, you may ask? Aside from weaponized poverty and a few of them wanting to keep the people just a little above poverty line, some of them genuinely believe that their people will appreciate these kinds of empowerments more than skill acquisition or formal education. In such a system, it's monarchy that works best. The people are so submissive and subservient, they kneel to greet the public servants, thank them for any benevolence, can't marry their poverty with corruption of these same leaders, think the leaders don't owe them anything, and don't hold them accountable for delivering governance, talk less of good governance. Unless they find an opposition leader who gives them money, food, and leads them to protest. Best believe they will protest for anything. Human lives have been made cheap. They don't even know that the primary role of government is to secure their lives and properties. Who will tell them? Now, with the majority of the country's population being in this strata of society, election cycle after cycle, we may continue to get the same kinds of results. Let the educated minority continue to argue on Twitter. The elections will be decided by the poor, uneducated majority. I mean, we see videos of children voting in our elections. We go to elections petitions tribunals, waste time, and come back with the courts saying those elections are valid. No presidential election has been overturned in Nigeria by the courts, regardless of the electoral malpractices we see all over social media. In fact, 32 years after 1993's free and fair elections, Babangida confessed in his memoir that he annulled the elections and that MK Abiola won. And guess what? He got billions donated at the launch of that book. In countries where democracy works, that's enough to have him arrested and tried. Not in Nigeria. Our democracy is just so we align with the world system in which democracy is popular. Even if the system is corrupt, the politicians are dictators, just pretend to have elections and the global puppet masters will look the other way. I mean, the world knew MK Abiola won in 1993. At the end of his struggle to recover his mandate, his wife was assassinated and he got served tea. End of. In the monarchical world, even though the king is not questioned because he was chosen by the gods, there's a system in place that checks erring kings. They can be banished from their thrones. In Nigeria, our monarchs have now been placed under local government councillors. Everyone just getting paid, collecting royalties, respected by their subjects, have no political power nor real influence, and just look the other way in the face of bad governance. If they dare criticize government, they can be removed from office by a governor and nothing will happen. That's Nigeria's democracy. It only pays the global puppet masters, the political class used as puppets, allowed to swallow the country's patrimony, do as they wish, as far as they don't upset the world leaders. Here's my verdict. Nigeria's democracy does not work for the people, except for those close to the political elites. That's why there's always a flock of people who defend the elites. They get crumbs from their tables by association, so they will be the first to shout you down if you criticize their paymasters. There are even a few not close to anyone. They become self-minions in the hope that tables will turn and they will be close to the seat of power someday. They are currently not getting any benefits, but if the system remains this warped, they hope to get their own share of the national cake in the nearest future. Some of them die waiting. Luck shines on some, and the corrupt system is sustained. The corrupt politicians benefiting from this system will not change it. It has to be the people to demand better. And we cannot do it if majority live in abject poverty. Hence, I'm advocating for us to feed, educate, secure, and provide adequate health care for Nigeria's poor. Then we will find better leadership from the educated mass.